We have to sell students the aspiration to have an aspiration.
Over the past 25 years, the number of participants has grown dramatically.
Over 25,000 students nationally are taking part in the Science and Engineering Challenge each year.
Had a key goal in changing the misconceptions that students have about science and engineering.
It's really great to see all the kids engaged from different backgrounds, and I think we need to continue this into the future.
The story of the challenge starts back in 1999. We knew that a significant number of Year 10 students were not taking up the higher level mathematics and physics in years 11 and 12 that we needed.
The Science and Engineering Challenge evolved from a collaboration between the two faculties, Faculty of Science and the Faculty of Engineering, to develop methods of increasing our exposure to students and getting them more involved in the STEM subjects. That was effectively day zero 25 years ago.
Welcome to day 5 of the Adelaide Science and Engineering Challenge.
John O'Connor suggested that we try going through Rotary because his sister is a very prominent Rotarian in the local district, and so I contacted the Rotary Club of Kempsey West.
We sat down and talked about Rotary and its involvement in challenges of the future. From that we decided that we would actually cover 3 valleys from our Rotary Club, and of that we worked out that there would be something close to 15 schools or thereabouts that could be catered for over 2 days. And that's how we started that challenge.
We started our involvement with it in the year 2000 and we've been there every year since then.
It was great to see such innovation, a program come from the University of Newcastle.
Now that cooperation process has grown as we've grown, and we now collaborate with over 23 universities around the country. The same thing applies with our sponsors. And so we got some really big sponsorships very early on, which helped us. And we also got a major sponsorship from the government. The government supported us to go nationwide.
The first lot of national government funding we got was tied to a number of things. And the first one of these was we had to have 18 activities available to the regions. We ended up with 22. One of the other things was a national council. We had to have a national governing body. But one of the main things was we had to have a national final. We actually achieved that in 2005, which I'm very proud about because that took a huge amount of work from a whole bunch of regional chairs, from a whole bunch of people.
Good morning and welcome to the Grand Challenge 2006.
The challenge is run nationally in Australia every year, bringing school students together to compete in solving a range of interesting problems.
Who would have thought in such a short time of only 25 years, students from every state throughout Australia and even internationally would have had the STEM experience?
Challenge Day is always a great day. We get to come and see all the activities, get to have a go at all the activities, and it's a great fun day to see all the students working together as well.
It's developing their fascination, their engagement.
It gives the opportunity for students to attend a program that they might not be able to get at the school facility itself.
I think the Science and Engineering Challenge is really great for STEM diversity and inclusion. As a young female engineer, I know that the females I saw through workshops like this growing up really inspired me to take on a career in engineering.
What we want to do is to change the perception about what it is to be a scientist or engineer.
And to expose them to ideas and challenges, to give them an idea of what they might pursue going forward beyond their compulsory school years.
The starting point is, after year 10, they've got to select maths and physics in particular courses going forward.
And we have positive statistics that show that it impacts on their decisions to do physics, chemistry and mathematics in year 11 and 12, which keeps their options open for university.
Students say the challenge has pushed them to think outside the box.
Like using critical thinking skills and
just developing more skills and stuff.
Our evaluation right from the start has been against that goal, not just how well the students enjoy the day.
Within 12 months of our first challenges, we were getting reports back from those schools that were involved of numbers in extension mathematics increasing twofold, which was just incredible.
Got to make it go fast, and it's the speed and the accuracy between two posts.
I reckon that it'd be lots of fun to do this for a job or a career.
So it's really good to see how these kids are building up their critical thinking, problem-solving skills for future employability, because that's the youth of the future, you know, they'll be the decision makers in the future. So it's good to see them have those skills and have that interest today.
So Dr. Rob, might be worth making some room in the bunker. There could be a few more budding scientists coming your way soon.
One of the features of the challenge is that it's a full-on engagement with students, teachers, community, and of course university to actually have a successful event.
I can't imagine the Science and Engineering Challenge without Rotary.
They are the backbone of the challenge success. Not only do our Newcastle and Hunter-based Rotarians put up their hands year after year to come and help as activity assistants, but some are so experienced they actually run also the selected activities on the day. Many Rotary clubs also contribute financially to help fund the SSC program. The financial support is vital.
It's been very rewarding, and it's a good thing for Rotary. So if you're looking to attract new members to your club, then this is a great event. If you can just say to them, why don't you come along? We've got this really interesting 2-day event. You could be there for 1 day or 2 days and help out. You're doing a good thing, stimulating kids' interests in STEM, but you'll also find it's good fun, and that's symbolic of what's good for Rotary, what is a good Rotary project.
I think it's really important for industry partners to get involved with the Science and Engineering Challenge because it's a lot more relatable to the students. They can actually see people who are currently working in the industry and aspire to be that. It's something they actually see instead of something they read about. It's more relatable to them, so they're more interested in it naturally.
And these events are especially important for regional students.
Coming from a rural town, we don't really get many opportunities like this.
I think it's just so important to offer kids in remote localities the opportunities that their peers in the big cities might have.
So the Science and Engineering Challenge increases diversity throughout the STEM programs because it exposes the different students to different areas.
Being able to provide these educational opportunities within regional, rural and across Australia is such an important part of the program and a part of the World Challenge itself.
It's key that we actually have these particular committees who come together but also have an opportunity to have greater participation in the local community.
I think it's really important for young females to see other females in the STEM profession because it's really good to have people around you who can inspire you and guide you in that way.
About 5% of the participants have English as a second language. About 5% are Indigenous students. Roughly 55% are from regional and remote areas which really cry out for access to science and STEM subjects. So all of these numbers indicate that we're targeting the students we need to target, that the students who are participating are representing the population, or in some cases representing the population that really needs access to STEM support.
I probably wouldn't be a civil engineer today if it weren't for workshops like this being run.
Scores are being tallied, competition is close, and this activity will be the day's decider.
And if you listen carefully, this is a record score for the challenge. 1,952. St Mary's Gateshead. Well done. Back-to-back champion.
It's like an inter-school sports competition where you get teams together. That brings in a very strong competition element, but it also means it doesn't depend on one person.
I think a lot of students start the day not really having a strong sense of what to expect. But it soon becomes really evident about the importance of working in a team, allowing others to float their ideas, testing the ideas, offering up your own ideas as well. I think being a team player is probably one of the really important sort of experiences that I would hope kids take away.
The team for each activity work together to come up with a solution, and then the activities that we pose to them are not straightforward. But our activities are always got a sting in the tail, or at least two factors that have to be achieved at the same time. Speed versus manoeuvrability, strength versus weight. I mean, all of these throw in a complication whereby out-of-the-box ideas can make the world of difference. It's where the team comes together. And that's why the students themselves say that the challenge demonstrates to them that an engineer or a scientist requires creativity, innovation, problem solving and teamwork. And these factors are things that they take away as being elements that they've appreciated in that day when they've competed against other schools.
As tiring as it is, it's super great to see how engaged they get with it, and they just really enjoy it, and I hope that they do consider a career in STEM in the future, and I get to kind of talk to them about the work I do and how I got here as well.
Well, one of the most inspiring stories, I think, comes around Bellingen High School. The school was introduced to the challenge by a teacher called Kelvin LeBrock. Now, Kelvin is a very enthusiastic teacher. And in 2008, Bellingen competed on a teacher's strike day, and they won their day. And so they got through to the Super Challenge. Kelvin becomes very emotional. Like, when his kids win, he cries. And the kids respond so positively to that. Now in Newcastle, Bellingen won again, and here's Kelvin in tears, and the kids are around him, sort of hugging him and saying, you know, it's wonderful. And then there's the bus driver's on the phone, and he's just as excited as the kids, and he said, these kids have got through to a national final. I've got to take them. I've got to drive them. And they got through, and they came second. And he said, I'll see you next year, Bob. And I said, that'd be great. But a month or so later, Kelvin became quite ill. And he was diagnosed with a fairly rare form of cancer. And then he was actually told that he only had a few months to live. Bellingen turned up at the challenge at Kempsey. To say they were focused is a total understatement. And they were dead set keen that they were going to do this for Mr. LeBrock. But about 11:30, a phone message came through that the Bellingen River was rising and they had to come back. I was sitting next to one of the girls. She looked at me, tears in her eyes, and said, does this mean we can't go on to the next level? And she's on the phone to the principal saying, we've got to stay, we can't go. And so-and-so's auntie will look after us all. And, you know, of course, the principal had to say, sorry, you've got to go. And so the kids left. But it was under the understanding that that Richard would try and get them into another challenge. But Richard spoke to Wayne Madden, who was the regional chair at Narrabri at the time, told him the story, and Wayne said, we'll take them. It was the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Those kids coming along, they were so keen, so focused. Comes the end of the day, who wins? Bellingen. They won their way through, and what's the first thing they did? They had a telephone hookup with Kelvin. It must have been one of the earliest sort of video calls that you could do. But he was so excited, and obviously in tears again. He said, I'm so proud of you kids. But I think that's one of the most inspiring stories that I think that I can remember coming out of the challenge.
Over the past 25 years, the number of participants has grown dramatically. And in fact, I can remember A number of years back I was attending a challenge in South Australia while Bob Nelson was attending a challenge somewhere else, and we were each claiming to see the 100,000 students. Well, we've gone well beyond that. And last year, almost 25,000 students participated in the challenge, which I think brings the total somewhere close to about 400,000. And that's been a dramatic impact over the country.
We have to sell students the aspiration to have an aspiration. So I think these sorts of experiences help kids to sort of develop that meta idea of this is what I might pursue.
It's really great to see all the kids engaged from different backgrounds and all the young girls we see just asking questions and getting really into it, and I think we need to continue this into the future.
You could see right from the very start what a success this project was going to be, and who could believe 25 years later it's wow right around Australia. It's sensational.
Can we get big 3 cheers for the Science Engineering Challenge? Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!